Hello everyone, this is Loco S, and in today's video, we're going to start covering Star Citizen Alpha 3.19 First Wave PTU, first patch of the public test universe. So, see here, we have the primary residence selection. We're going to go for Area 18. Now, I know that Lorville 2, we got Lorville 2.0. It was just in last week's Inside Star Citizen. Wanted to do this because apparently I was going through the patch notes and they said that Area 18 apparently has volumetric clouds. So we're going to hop in today and see Area 18, check it out, see if anything changed for that in Star Citizen. Plus, I have a suspicion about Area 18, and we'll see if it comes true. And then after that, we're going to hop into a I'll see what I have available when I'm feeling up for, probably Cahal A or something, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to Lorville and see what's up in Lorville with the new update. So I'll probably pick something that's fairly maneuverable. So without further ado, I'll see you in the verse. All right, we're in the verse. Team elimination. Scavenge for occupants to survive. Okay, so the health buttons are acting a little bit weird, but we actually managed to get out of bed. We didn't encounter that annoying bug that seems to be plaguing the world, where you're sometimes stuck in bed. All right, so far so good. We're not going to get stuck. We're not going to sit down on the chairs. I do believe they mentioned these are two known bugs. The chairs in Area 18's tabs, you'll get stuck in those. And then there are replacement bowls in this patch, so that is a known issue. We don't need to report that. So let's see here. We're not going to bother putting on anything fancy. We're not going to doll up the character like I normally do at this point. Whoop. Frame drops. Frame stalls. Okay. This is going to be a little bit annoying. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to see any clouds today here. Huh. So that looks interesting. So I actually did notice on the bottom, so the right-hand side, about a third from the bottom, it looks like there's a hint page. It looks like there's something, I don't want to call it a hint page, but it looks like there's some kind of help menu where you can go through and see, like, oh, interact mode's F, consumables is C. So that's new. And if I press F, it brings up, you can focus. If I press C, oh, heal self, inject other. Huh. Press C again. Oh, there we go. Slight delay. Servers seem a little bit more lively than before. Aha! This is my suspicion. I knew that, so usually right before a Invictus or a, what is it, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, they usually, for the patch before, start dropping things like this, where they'll actually have the in-game signage for the either Invictus week, launch week, or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, and it'll actually tell you where it is held and the dates. And I had a suspicion, because I did see one of the leaks, that said that the Bevic Convention Center, which is Area 18's convention center, is actually having Invictus launch week, and it is indeed May 19th through the 26th. So, May 19th, so Invictus is May 19th through the 26th, and okay, now this is new. Good thing I came to Area 18, because I wouldn't have seen this before. Looks like we have a landing zone map for Area 18, and this is really nice. Let's see here, current location, shows you where all the vendors are and stuff. This is going to be really helpful for new players, which is awesome. Take a screenshot of that, show people what it's like. Okay, it just fades in and out, so... But hey, that's an improvement, I like that. I also like this little ad right here for Invictus. We'll take a very, very quick walk around Area 18 while I wait for these clouds to appear, just so we can get an idea of what the clouds look like before we head out to Lorville. And if we have to wait, I'll just put a cut in if we're just waiting forever. But let's see here, Kasaba Outlet still kind of a little bare in that one little corner. Nothing new here. Just your normal Kasaba Outlet stuff. Not one of my favorite in-game locations to buy clothing, I will say. Weirdly, I like the clothing that's sold in the more piratey, we'll say, locations, the more outlaw, quote-unquote, locations, the more the frontier style. And CIG has actually called that, so one of those things, it's not really like the pirate style, it's the frontier style that I like. There are places within the UEE that we will be getting, hopefully, down the line, that actually are both frontier style and frontier, like in general, like their culture, their styles, all that stuff, that are actually within the UEE, like what's it called? I know Bremen. Bremen's like one of those locations. So let's see here, guns. And your standard firearms. I don't think they changed the inventory here all that much. It's the same old inventory you can find elsewhere. PR-48s, which are good. At least there's one place you can get some assault rifles in this game. Makes it a little bit nicer that you actually have a different, the option for like a different kind of weapons other than just being stuck with whatever they give you for like SMGs and shotguns everywhere else. Alright, so they really didn't. It looks like they really didn't change any of the loadouts, so to speak. They didn't change any of the weapons you could get here. Although they did actually add a whole lot of these. I did see these in the patch notes where they gave you a whole lot of these Cubby Blast terminals in this place. So there's way more than the two that were there previously. And it looks like they did actually update also the UI here, so it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to do it real quick. Let's see here what they have. Personal weapons. Personal weapons. Oh, that's a compensator. I was wondering what I saw right there. Night Stalker. Yeah. So all the weapons that are on display are actually in the terminals. There's not like there's anything hidden. So, that's cool. And frames per second, FPS is, I'm keeping an eye on the corner. It wouldn't be on display for you guys. This recording software I use just has it up there, but as it record onto the actual image, it's currently at around just above, like literally just barely above like 30, dropping below like to the very high 20s. So it's about average for my PC. I actually have a relatively decent PC. The only reason that it isn't like more advanced was I literally got it right before they announced the 4000 series cards. Like it was like literally a couple of months later that they announced 4000 series cards. And not only that, it was at the time of the pandemic when like my PC broke. It wasn't even that I was planning on getting a PC upgrade. I was waiting until things like settled down before I upgraded. But unfortunately, my old PC had other ideas. So yeah, I ended up getting a newer PC. It was still an upgrade, even though I went from like a 980 Ti to a 360 Ti, and the only reason I didn't go for like a 370 or 380 Ti was simply because they were out of stock, and I needed my PC and I needed a PC pretty badly, and I didn't want to wait like months on end to get like a new one. And like I needed it badly, not because of work necessarily, but because D&D. One of my games we do online, so I was like, I better get a new. I was like, yeah, I just broke down and got a new PC relatively quickly. Plus, even at the time and even now, like the 300 series cards are good for VR, but they're not like. It's still not. I just personally didn't think it was worth the money at the time for what you got. It's getting better though. I will say VR is getting better. Hopefully, in the near future, with things like the Pimax Crystal and the like, we'll actually get viable VR setups. So I'm looking through here and I'm wondering, okay, it's a good thing I'm checking this out for bug report testing. I'll have to clip this and take a screenshot. I don't know if this was in the patch notes that the shop terminal here was a little bugged out, but at the very least, I got that recorded. And we're gonna go into nope. We'll go into settings here real quick. Get rid of those hints. So control hints. So that's what was popping up on the the right hand side of the screen was control hints. So we'll leave that up just because we'll see what see how that's like. We'll see what that's like. Get an idea of like what you can do and like what pops up where. I just wanted to get those annoying hints that were the big silver hints that were at the bottom of the screen, especially because it looked like some of them were definitely bugged out. Okay. Like the signage. I like the signage. ArcCorp really needed the signage. I think partly the reason why they needed the signage and the signage wasn't as good as before. Mainly it boils down to the fact that ArcCorp was based off a really old asset in game. Before 3.0, there actually was a social module where you can like walk around non-game and foot. It had a different layout as compared to Star Citizen now, like when it was introduced later on. But the fact of the matter is that it's still ArcCorp is still based off of the old 2.7 or 2.8 social module. So there's a lot of older stuff that wasn't implemented at the time. So there's a lot of the signage wasn't really there and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's really good now that they went back through and added all that stuff in, especially because we got Invictus Fleet Week here, which is a good call, I believe. Invictus last week was held in Orison, and Orison's performance is notoriously bad. So I'm glad that they moved the game out of Orison and into ArcCorp. Although, looking at my FPS, I have a very strong suspicion that the volumetric clouds of Orison are partially what's causing this. Weird. Just looking at that shirt, I was like looking at him like, what the heck? He's like, he put on a shirt but no pants. That's another minor thing I break about this game, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, with Orison, I believe that the volumetric clouds were part of the reason why the server frames per second were low, and they just went ahead and implemented them here, which is good. I mean, we do need the volumetric clouds, and it's not as bad as Orison, but still, it's not. Server performance is still, I mean, frames per second performance here is not ideal. It's definitely playable though. 40% is definitely playable. No one cooks like Ma. See, now that's a new food place. I wonder if we have any of that. Oh! That's right, the Bevic Convention Center. I know, distractions, but... yeah, it is one, I do have to say, that is one annoying thing about the game, as far as, like, what they give you to start out with. They'll give you shirts, but they won't give you pants. And that drives me nuts to no end. That's like, oh yeah, look, all these shirts we'll give you. We'll give you all these shirts. And then it's like, okay, I want to put on clothes instead of a flight suit. And you put on your shirt, and then you realize you have no shoes. You have no pants. And it's just like, really, CIG? Could you give us at least a pair of pants? I know, you can... There's no penalty to wearing a flight suit everywhere. It's just kind of annoying. And, oh, here we are off the Bevic Convention Center. And it's been forever since we've been at Bevic Convention Center, I will say that. I think it's been at least several in-game several real-life years. I would say it's at least been 3. I would say 3, if not 4 years since us players have actually been to the convention center on ArcCorp. It's one of those things where at the time they were sort of bouncing around their convention centers and where they held their in-game events to like the newest locations. But now it seems like they're kind of going back and trying to use all their locations in-game. So that's cool. Even updated the signage here, which is nice. So let's see what Invictus Fleet Week has for us as we go walking around here.
Thank you for visiting Bevic Convention Center. Have a great rest of your day.
Aw, man, you're not gonna let me pick up some of the food. Huh. Oh well. Alright. Invictus Fleet launch week. 2953, which is they updated the signage, which is good. And it feels like, and this is, ooh, I was gonna say, oh, this looks fairly familiar from the last time they had the convention center here, and then I looked up and it's like, oh, nice improvement, CIG.
Hello and welcome to the Bevic
Navy UEE recruitment,
ArcCorp's leading destination for live events.
flight deck crew, I think medical crew, pilot crew, and officer and tech support, I guess, or a maintenance crew. Ready. ArcCorp Plaza, Area 18 Central. Oh! So I didn't realize this. It looks like now the ArcCorp shuttles are on a loop, which is nice. You have your various manufacturer swag shirts with Argo over there. Another dead player. In-game ship models. This year's Invictus shirts.
Thank you for visiting.
Oh, that's cool.
Have a great rest of your day.
New coffee machine.
Hello and welcome to the Bevic Convention Center.
I love this. I love this consolidated outland sign. It's really cool. You have the 4 different styles of basically their ships. Like, I know that one right there is the Delta, and then you like racing, Beta, Alpha. It's a really cool idea. Nothing this way. I do like, by the way, that the Invictus Fleet Week and the convention centers have these little tables they put in. They didn't have to add those in. They add light, but they also are, I think, a really cool place if you want to have your meet up with your friends in game. That way, you know, like, hey, just meet up with Invictus launch week there. So, signage.
Hello and welcome to the Bevic Convention Center.
Some really ridiculously overly fancy display here. Ah, the infamous display here where you step up there and look up. That's screenshot worthy. Oh, now this is a really cool display. This is the 999 Reckless Test Squadron. So they're really cool. Good opportunity there. You have the all the Invictus ships there. So I'm doubting that we're going to be able to get in to actually do Fleet Week. They don't usually Fleet Week testing. It's the lobby. Usually how this goes is Invictus launch week, they'll give us the whenever they have Invictus Launch Week or Fleet Week or
Have a great rest of your day.
Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. That's the other one I was thinking about. They will in the patches leading up to it, they'll give you a build with the convention center in it, but none of the floors, none of the floor events will be active. And then right before the event, they'll activate all the floor events, and they'll activate all the floors, and you go through the floors, you test them out, make sure they all work. The Aegis Redeemer will have its doors bugged, but we'll just have to tough it out, stuff like that. And we're going to go to Riker Memorial Space Center, and we're going to camp out there until
Enjoying your day, be sure to treat
it's time to go, until the daylight breaks. It might take a while, I'll put in a cut. There we go, Bevic Convention Center. It's good to see it back. It's been, this is a convention center that's been in Star Citizen for a very long time, and it's good to have it back. Yeah. I hope we get to see. I honestly, do have to admit, I wish we got more convention centers in game or more cons in game. It would be nice to get like a convention that was focused on industry ships, or even just individual professions. Like we'll have like Minor Con on Microtech, because Microtech is where they have the where Schubert Interstellar is, and that's a big mining corporation in game. Or maybe have like Salvage Con or something, and then like you can have like various events. Like you can have like a mini sale with only industry salvage ships, or only like industry mining ships, and all kind of stuff like that. And wait a minute. We're going to have to pop out. When we pop out here, we'll have to play around with this because I'm noticing something. All of the weirdly oriented ships are gone. Oh, no, wait, they're still there, I think. Hold on. Let's get to the entrance because the shuttles sometimes don't give you the most amount of time to exit them. Nope. The ships flying at weird angles are still there. They look a little bit better at least now. They're not flying at completely weird angles. But they really did redo this area here in the middle of the spaceport that leads out towards Area 18. This street did not look as nice as it did before. This is a really cool improvement with all the lighting and all this stuff. They really touched up Area 18 quite nicely. It's funny because they were making all that big stink about Lorville 2.0 and all that stuff for all those days and all those like months on end, but then the new user experience at Area 18, they're like, oh yeah, let's go through Area 18 and like touch it up and make it up look nice, and it's like, holy crap, they actually made the actual area that you're in look nice. And just your normal standard NPCs on benches, just normal Star Citizen behavior there. And this is also neat. May 27th to May 30th is Defense Con, and Defense Con is actually held at the actual spaceport, and that is normal for it. Every Invictus Fleet Week, Drake has their own little mini show at the actual spaceport called Defense Con, and Defense Con is in lore, it's the fact that Drake doesn't get along well with the Navy for various reasons. So by having Drake not at basically Invictus Fleet Week, they're like, yeah, we're gonna like set up our own little place over here in the spaceport, away from it. And they really did move them. Okay, so in previous patches, if you're a returning backer, you'll notice that the ASOP terminals here have been removed, and instead you just have this like lounge area, which is, I don't know if it was like the best call or the right call, but it is something that they decided to do. Okay, I guess these screens don't do anything. Ah, there we go.
Hello, and welcome to Riker Memorial Spaceport.
There we go. Good screenshot of that.
Area 18 metropolitan area.
Defense Con.
Wherever
Yeah.
your destination.
So completely different branding than their other events. Probably going to end up in a very similar spot where it's like, oh no, you can only go... Ship Hall, Drake Defense Con. Oh, we're going to get a sneak peek at Defense Con this year. I highly doubt there's going to be any new ships for Defense Con. We're just going to have to go in and find out. Haha! This kind of makes sense, actually. I'm looking around, Defense... That's cool. Drake has their own merch booth here. That actually makes sense, actually, that they just literally took over, like, a massive hangar like this. Alright, welcome to Drake Defense Con, people. We're getting... I didn't think we were going to get to a sneak peek at one of the show floors here. But we are apparently going to get a sneak peek at Drake's Defense Con. So, I'll probably put a... And we'll keep this as part of this video. I might make a separate video later on to see just about this Drake. I want to go into all the different ships, give you guys a head start on that. But yeah, I was trying to play with that screen because sometimes you can do really funny things with these screens, and you can actually turn them off and on. I guess not. Let's see here. We're gonna go take a little quick walk around here, showcase these, and then I might put a cut in the video if it turns out that it's still not daylight, because I do actually want to wait till daylight to take off from Area 18 to see the new volumetric clouds around Area 18. That might give me enough time. However, in the meantime, I'll probably make a separate recording of this and like go through Drake Defense Con and showcase what is going to be here all this year. Oh, Drake Cutter. That actually is from this year, from last year's IAE. That's Drake's newest ship and their new starter ship. The ever infamous Drake Caterpillar. And the venerable, ever popular Cutlass series.
Drake is continuing to
Down
provide
here. Oh,
security at home.
that's
with
right.
our affordable and
They have a display
reliable
hall.
line of ships. Whether you need to haul cargo across the verse or protect your homestead from outlaw packs, Drake's got your back. Planetary builds ships that not only provide function and power at a price that we can all afford.
Yeah, this is generally what I thought would be. This is the Kraken. Didn't think there would be anything other than this in here. Drake only has right now the Kraken in quote-unquote a concept-only stage, which makes sense. There's so many other ships right now. I doubt they would have done anything else with it. I'm also looking around because I'm wondering where the dragonflies are. That is one of their signature products. Oh, there they are. Dragonflies, right smack in the middle. Didn't notice them.
Welcome to Defense Con. While we at Drake Interplanetary
Here's your Dragonfly Black.
men and women in the UE Navy, I think we all know that while they're protecting our borders from Vandal incursions, Drake is continuing to provide security at home with our affordable and reliable line
Alright,
of
so we actually
ships.
managed to sneak in and actually get a look at Defense Con. We're going to go back and see if Day is broken. If Day has broke over the wide, wonderful world of Area 18, we're then going to go ahead and take off. If not, we're going to put a cut in, and we're going to get back to you guys whenever Day breaks. see you then. Alright, people, we're back from the cut. As you would have seen from my somewhat failed attempt to get into DefenseCon, I think either the CIG or the server devs or someone real, or even just probably the game itself realized, hey, people really shouldn't be at DefenseCon right now. So they kind of kicked us out, which is very appropriate for Drake at their DefenseCon to have have people break in and get access to it before they should. Kind of funny. But you got to see pretty much everything from the previous, from this full video review of the event. So you're not like you're losing anything out. Figured I just put that in there just for lols. So we're gonna go ahead and summon. I have a lot of I'm a long time backer, so it's one of those things every once in a while, especially when I did it when I was saving up for a house, it's like, oh, I have a decent bit of money, I'll just buy an extra ship. And you do that for over 10 years and you end up with a lot of ships. Plus, there's actually a number of those ships are somewhat bugged in the sense that a lot of some of those ships I have copies of that I shouldn't have not that the game thinks like, oh, you have 2 copies. It's like, no, I only have 1 copy. Nope, you have 2 copies, and it's like, So I don't know if they're like ships that are meant as replacements or what. And oh, I forgot. When I was at DefenseCon, by the way, if you go to DefenseCon, it's a separate inventory than your main inventory. And I decided, hey, for laughs, we'll just replace our. No, I actually do need an undersuit. We'll use. So hey, I'll just take off my helmet so I get better visibility and don't have as much UI clogging up the screen for my DefenseCon video. And nope. DefenseCon has a separate inventory, so if you drop anything off at DefenseCon, it'll pick it up. It'll stay at DefenseCon. If the convention decides that, hey, you're not supposed to be here. So that's a good float out. We don't need anything fancy. There's my Mustang Delta. One of the very first ships that I actually bought. Picking the Mustang Delta because it's a really good visibility, has a really high visibility cockpit, and it's quite maneuverable. Flight ready.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
Let's see here. We want to go to. We'll use this one to activate comms. There we go. Wait for this to fully open up. Alright.
Launch complete.
Alright, there we go. Ships. Our wings are expanded and. Nine. Okay. UI's a little bit. UI is acting up here, but the actual procedural and volumetric clouds here, this looks awesome in Area 18. And I love the fact that we're actually flying through and it's the water droplets. Area 18 is supposed to be a very cyberpunk city. It's one of those cities I would expect a lot of rain to be there just because it's just sort of like the vibe of the place. So this is awesome. As we punch through the this cloud layer, secondary cloud layer above us, and then lots of clouds down below, and oh wow, screenshotting this. See, and this is the cool thing about Star Citizen and their patches. There's a lot of time that they always do all their shows and they always talk about like all some of their big things, but then they sneak in things like this that are like, oh, well, this isn't a major thing, and it's like, well, it is. This looks awesome. Obviously, the volumetric clouds do need work. as I do say that they do look awesome, that is a known issue right there with the clouds. I believe it has to do something with like how the volumetric clouds are created and the sampling, where if it does it from certain angles, the sampling, the algorithms get a little bit messed up. So then they start having effects like that go off. But if you look at it from down, like from above, they look amazing, and from below, they look amazing. It's just the higher and higher your slant angle, the more fuzzy they get. But we're here to go to Hurston, so let's see here. Her L1, and there's Hurston. Quantum Drive is spooling up. Here we go.
Quantum travel engaged.
And I'll obviously put in a cut here. Because, yeah, you guys don't need to see the entirety of the 20 or to even 10 minutes it's going to take to get to Hurston. We're going to stop at Everest Harbor first. I was looking at chat, dodging in, ducked my head in there to see what was going on. Apparently there's a gun store that is well stocked on Everest Harbor. So we're going to go to Everest Harbor, see if we can spot Area 18 from above, and then we're going to fly down after we check out that gun store in Everest Harbor and see the new city in Hurston. So, see you when we get there. Alright. And here we are.
Quantum travel complete.
Alright, let's see here now. Obviously, we need to... Usually use pine wood. Ah, there it is. So there's Lorville, right there. So we're gonna head up to Everest Harbor.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
Which is 22 kilometers away. And unfortunately right in our... There we go. So we're not looking directly at the sun while we warp over there. Come in from up above and land. See if we can't see Lorville. There's Everest Harbor there. Let's see. Bring up quantum travel so we can see if we can spot Lorville. Ah! There it is. It's behind that cloud cover. That's why we're not seeing it. Alright. If we put the... There we go. So I was kind of hoping to see if we can see Lorville from up above the clouds on the over at Everest Harbor, but this heavy cloud cover is obscuring it. So, oh well, it happens. There we go, Everest Harbor.
T to assigned landing bay.
Slow down. Oh. Looks like we got a landing spot on one of these spars here. Oh. That's interesting. We got a vertical launch bay. Deploy
Landing gear
as we
engaged.
come down nice and softly.
Landing complete.
There we go. Power off.
Have a pleasant stay.
Exit. And we're now at a nice, sweet 60 FPS. And boy, did we come close down that side. Huh. Oh, what is that? Well, to know if we're here for a super long, which I doubt we are, I'll have to know to, when I pull up to push it a little bit forward and then go up. There we go. Lobby. We are at Hangar 4. Just trying to see again if we can see anything interesting outside of Everest Harbor. We can see that city because I do want to. I am genuinely curious if there was no cloud cover, what the city would look like from up here. All right, let's see here, Galleria. Opening CIG's little opening soon areas to give them more room if they want to explore and try other out to expand these out for more shopping or more areas that need for gameplay, which is always nice to see, but it's not what I want to see. Casablanca outlets, Platinum Bay. Some manufacturer searches in here, and I should mention that you can actually, if you don't get the manufacturer's shirts at the convention center or through the, you can actually buy them online on the store for real life money, and then that way you permanently get a copy of them. You can also just go to the any of these orbital platforms, and you'll usually find them there at the Casablanca outlet stores there. Plus, obviously, Crusader merch you can get at Orzen. Okay, so there's Platinum Bay. No, sorry, not Platinum Bay. This is the armor shop here. Really cool white flight suit, but that's not what we're looking for. Oh! Well, now this is interesting. This is very interesting. So it looks like this armor store now sells a bit of sells some weapons. Here you have your Colt 45 standard at the S38, a P4 AR rifle, the Gallant's energy rifle, the Karna also it's also an energy / plasma rifle. So not a whole lot of weapons, but these rifles are pretty interesting because we actually don't get a lot of you don't get a lot of choices to actually buy rifles. In 3.18 is one of those things that they kind of put off to the wayside. And I wonder if they reintroduced some of the rifles into this patch, mainly because they're doing now they're focusing now the loot balancing and like the special item to get in game being the all the salvage components. So you have to actually go out and salvage components off of the really high-end components off of ships. So I figured now that gameplay is in, they're allowing you now for the FPS gear to not necessarily have to scrounge around to look for those long arms. So that was an interesting stop. Alright. Alright. Gonna put a cut in here. I'll hop into the Mustang, and then once we're in range of Lorville, we'll pop back in, and we'll take a flight around Lorville. Alright, everyone, we managed to get out of Everest Harbor. It took a little while. Managed to actually start punching through the cloud deck here. Now we can actually start seeing the Lorville landing zone here. See, like, the furnaces that they talked about on the Inside Star Citizen right there. What I can only imagine is acid rain is forming across our cockpit as we go through the cloud deck. And... no, that's... oh, there's Central right there. I was looking for the Central Business District, and it's actually right in front of us, which is wild. This is sick. They really did an awesome job of Lorville here. I love how it's all like black and gold for the lighting. Like you have this dark, these very dark gray, maybe a little bit of like brown spattered in, and then you have all these like bright yellow lighting. So you get the black and gold. This is looking awesome.
Warning, safe zone exited.
See some of like the mining facilities down here in front of Central, which is pretty cool. Our vector back goes going straight. Now, what I'm curious about is on Lorville, there were actually several different, how to put this, exterior exits where you could actually go to like 6 places on the periphery and actually spawn in ground vehicles and drive around on the planet. Because this planet actually does have an atmosphere. You don't have to wear a spacesuit. So there actually are locations that you can drive around here. I'm curious where those exits are now, though. I would imagine they'd be somewhat close to the center of... oh. Alright, I'm going to take a wild guess and... get our flight path vector on right there. I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that the area right around Central is actually a quote-unquote restricted area. So we'll have to keep that in mind. But we can see some of these buildings, especially some of these taller and larger buildings, have pads on them. We are definitely... I'm wondering if there's a rain effect going on, because we're not in any clouds, but we might be underneath them. That's a cool shot right there. All right. There's one of the, I think that's Solomon Hurston right there. In bright, giant, gleaming gold statue form. Again, this is interesting. They did say for the longest while that they were going to get rid, quote unquote, of like the impounding vehicle area. Like, oh, you could fly anywhere. And then here I am flying low, and it's like, we're going to impound your vehicle. We're going to impound your vehicle. We're going to impound your vehicle. So, it's not, it is open. It is more open, and you can fly around quite close to a lot of these buildings, but you do definitely want to be careful. And I would imagine if you were flying out of the city, go straight up first. Try to get up to this level here, right where you were skimming the tops of these tall towers, and you should be fine to like navigate around here if you're just trying to get out and like not crash. Looks like there's a party on top of this building here. Where Origin is. And then after that, I think I do spot... okay, when we were flying over that restricted area, I think we were flying over the Everest, Tessa spaceport. So at least we found the spaceport there. Oh, would you look at that? Looks like there's like a party going on up there. Everyone's different ships. Oh! Ew. Visibility's a little crap. Crap. Okay, hold on. There we go. That's the one thing about having quote-unquote autopilot on, is that your thrusters are always moving forward even when you don't want them to. So you sometimes have to be a little bit careful how turning them on or off. But that's pretty cool that, like, this building, it looks like, obviously comparing, like, the rest of Hurston, which is like a polluted wasteland, it looks like up here you have this indoor park on top of the roof. So that's really cool. But we're going to go ahead and turn off the lights. Could be worth exploring one day, but I know this video is getting kind of long as is, so we're going to go down here and get landing clearance for Everest Harbor. Not Everest Harbor, Tessa Spaceport.
Warning, safe zone exited.
Assigned landing bay.
There we go. Alt-N to get our spot, which is this tiny little
Warning, safe zone
base here.
exited.
Fold the wings up.
Landing gear engaged.
Come down. Okay, we need to back up a little bit. And land.
Landing complete.
Power off. And exit.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Alright. Go. It's the medical bay. Exit. Banged up on something on the way here or back. That's okay. Landing bay arrivals. Now, from what I understand, Lorville hasn't changed too much. I do want to ride the train around a little bit, but I'm not going to really stop at any of the locations. I might stop in to Tammany and Sons real quick, and then we'll end the video at Central Business District. Okay. Open the doors, Tessa. There we go. Alright. Yeah, looks the same as always. And honestly, we were told multiple times that this place wouldn't be changing too much. But it's good to know, it's good to get a visual confirmation, see what's there, see what's changed. So what's really changed is the outside view here. And ooh. Okay. That looks awesome. It's a way better view than before. Right? as someone, the usual Star Citizen player running around, max speed, ramming into people. Just another day in the PTU. People have places to go, things to test. So, Metro Center. Central Business District. We're going to go through the Metro Center. We're going to take a little bit of a hike through. Let's see here. I'll bring up the name of the official name of the place right here. We're going to go to Metro Center.
Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
And then from Metro Center, we're going to go to Levston, and then over to Central Station for the Central Business District.
Now arriving from Metro Center. Stand by and let passengers disembark before.
Good old Lorville trains, as always, the same. Little tiny windows out into the world. Could those still work?
Be considerate.
Ooh.
Next stop, Metro Center.
Believe that's Central up there.
Now arriving.
Some graphical
Metro
glitches
Center.
there.
Please watch your step when disembarking the train. Trespassing or attempting to trespass on now arriving from TISA Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding.
Okay, there we go.
Welcome to Metro Center.
Hopping in up here.
Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and industry lines.
Perimeter line. I'm going to do my own testing and probably make a separate video on the perimeter line. See how that's changed. But I do want to eventually, but I do want to get moving along, so we'll save the perimeter line test for later. It's another player. Same as always in this little area of the world. That had a map a while ago. It's good old Maria Pure of Heart up there. Bars down there. Good old reclamation and disposal for Clovis Darneely's spot. Let's pop through here. To get over there. There's the Central Station line up there. Now, this is the thing I wanted to see. Anything here has changed. Because this is actually one of my favorite spots to get clothing in the in the game, and in general, it's a really good spot to get a lot of the armors in game. Definitely a lot of like the multi-tool, a lot of work equipment. This is a really good shop for like industrial players. Better report that. Empty mannequin. It's probably not intended. I'll do shopping later here, just because I can. Oh. Lag Central. Temporarily move this to the Lorville area. Get some fresh water. Hydrate both IRL and game. Alright, nothing too crazy here. Just wanted to look around, see what else is new. See anything interesting came up. Someone's trying to use a multi-tool on foot, which is interesting. And here we go, Leavesden Station. This is going to take us to Central Business District. And that's where we'll end this video. And this tour for today. Nice shot of Central up ahead.
Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
There we go, doors closed.
Be considerate
And
of
we're
your
off.
fellow travelers.
Noticing my frames have dropped down like around like 20 around Lorville. Before it was a lot better, but to be expected. It's an alpha. It's still working. It's still a work in progress. And not only that, my PC hardware isn't like the bleeding edge at the moment. And honestly, for Star Citizen, I wouldn't even recommend getting bleeding edge components for Star Citizen, because by the time Star Citizen releases, what's bleeding edge today will be outdated. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Star Citizen devs and people working on it had that in mind whenever they're building the game. That performance is something they want to be concerned about. They don't want to obviously go way over budget and make the game unplayable, but they also know that, realistically speaking, the game isn't exactly going to be released anytime soon. Alright, there's Central Business District from inside. The guard's armor is a little bit different out here. Obviously this being the quote high-tech area of our corp. They're obviously going to have different armor. Step out onto this platform here. It's really cool. And that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else. Obviously, frames per second go up in Lorville. This is an older, quote-unquote, older area. It's also being closed, so it's not like it has to render a whole lot of stuff. Just want to take a quick little peek here into transfers, and then we'll end in Hurston Dynamics' showcase. Oh, there's the commodity shops there. So that's new trading terminals there for Lorville, which are nice. Let's see if he's at even in his office he has someone standing. So this is a mission giver. I never really played with him too much. That's close enough.
I'm neck deep in requisition orders. I don't have time to talk.
I don't know what missions he gives. I'm not even quite sure if his missions are properly even implemented in game yet. I'll have to give it a shot. I'll have to see. There might be something in a future update I might have to play around with and see, because I do know they want to work on mission givers in the future. It's just not a priority right now. Alright. Oh, and if you are ever curious about the lore of Hurston Dynamics, if you go to the Central Business District building here, and you go down to this little area down here, there's actually a timeline of Person Dynamics. We're not going to read that. We're going here where we're going to end the video today. Huh. It's a fancy store interface. But no new Person Dynamic weapons. They haven't really ever made... Once they made these attritions, they kind of just made a store literally just for the attritions, and that's it. I'm thinking eventually, there was talk about in some of these shows, I think it's in one of the Star Citizens, one of the Star Citizen shows, I think it was either the Sprint report they did last, or one of the lives, they do mention that they want to actually have FPS weapons have the same cascade technology that these guys have, where the hotter the weapon gets, the faster it fires and the more powerful it is. So, with that being said, this is LockOS. I hope you enjoyed this showcase of the first PTU wave of 3.19. Lots of stuff to cover because I was not but I wasn't expecting half of that stuff to be in game right now, but it was, and we managed to take a look around. And I'll see you probably in a couple of days. I'll probably cover like every other patch release as a video. I might not do every patch release just because it's usually not a lot changes from one patch to the next. But if you give it a couple patches, it'll change by quite a bit. So, in any case, this is LockOS. Like I said, signing out for today, and I'll see you sometime soon.